Right, morning people. So out and about again. More experimentation. This is basically me revisiting an old idea. I have some bits of stuff lying around in a scrap box, and after watching a couple of videos on YouTube, I thought, oh, that reminds me, we used to do this kind of thing back in the day. So basically what I've done is I've revisited an old idea from when I was in recce, basically in the days before it all got high tech and, you know, drone and all that shit, when it was still Mark 1 eyeball on target for a spotting scope. So basically all I've done is I've got a piece of old IPK kit, some NBC braces, a sewing machine, and about 2 hours of my time, and an individual cabinet. And basically all I've made is like a one-man kind of hide. So basically this is just, doesn't need a poncho, doesn't need to be that big. This is basically pure and simple, just for one bod. So you'd bury your Bergen behind you in a cache. You'd move into this after you've sighted it, and say if you needed to get comms, you'd make sure you got comms working. But this isn't rocking science. This is old stuff from back in the day. So, you know, this is how it was done. And I'm going to flip it around and just show you. Right, so get my sausage fingers out of the way. What we're looking at is an individual cabinet, the green and brown one. I've just sprayed it on and then it ran out. So you can see where the beige is. This is the brown side. You can see the end of a German Army Rhino mat, and then there's this hooped affair. So if I lift the cabinet up from the back, now you can see it slightly better. So there's some tent poles. So basically that's a set of 7 tent poles that I found on my weekend, the little day jolly with Shove, the overnighter. And then all I've done is I have sewn, as you can see here, a tunnel in the end to take said poles, and then I've sewn a loop so that can attach into these plastic pegs. Yeah, so if you can see that there, I don't know if you can actually, can you? Yeah, the peg, the pole is inside that. So that one there, going all the way over to that one there, is creating the space for the arch, yeah? And then it's just pulled down at the back, yeah? Now there's a sewn in loop here, an arch. There's one in the middle, but I haven't got enough poles to do that, so it sags. And then there's one at the front, and again the same thing. So basically, depending on how many poles and how low you want it to go, by using the pegs you can adjust the height. So the back end of this is higher than the front, yeah? And then all I've done at the front is basically using some of that stealth cabinet, which I need to finish off because I need to sort that hole out there, and there's another one here. But you'd have your optics spotting scope camera kit would be inside there, and you'd be lying in there with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push this down like that. It's nothing special. There are firms who make these out there if you're in surveillance kind of industry and stuff like that, and they charge. Now they charge like 160 quid for something like that, which I made from a 15 quid IPK kit, some pegs I had knocking around, and some tent poles that I found. So, you know, with a little bit of, so yeah, it's not, you don't have to be robbed to have some posh recce kit. Anyway, let's get inside. So as you can see, it's a bit cramped, but the whole idea of being in recce is not to be seen. So if I just edge my way forward, basically that's the view. Now of course some of these would be cut out so you could actually see, but what I'll try and do, remember you're at ground level, so there's me Dutch out the front, there's a bit heavy duty over there, and then kind of over there, so you're now at ground level, and that's it. The whole idea of being in recce is not to be seen, so that's it. Anyway, I'm backing out of it without knocking it over. So yeah, anyway, because at the minute on Instagram for say like the last year, it's all been recce orientated and shit like that, when it really doesn't have to be overcomplicated, does it? You know, the whole idea is find somewhere that's eyes on the target you want to look, and then get as low as to the ground as you can. If you've got to dig in, dig in, but that's an entirely different ball game. And then basically this is it. So if I just do a 360, okay, you can see the dog, but yeah, backing away. I threw some more leaf litter over that, and that was say in a depression, like a hollow in the ground, you'd be well away. So anyway, enough of me waffling, I need a coffee. So anyway, me out.